Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Today I am doing a flip through of my bullet journal. This is the bullet journal that I've had since 2017, I want to say. This is a Leuchtturm 1917 and I have it in this teal color. I have these vinyl stickers that I got from the dollar store. That's what the front looks like. And there's the back, so it kind of like wraps around. I really like how this looks. And these stickers are meant to be like wall stickers, but I just put them on here and they've lasted really well. The first page is the name and address page, and then the next page is the index page, which I never use. I find that indexes are not very useful for me. The next page is the key page. The only thing that I changed with the key for the bullet journal system is I added this completed event, and then I took out some of the other symbols like the I and things like that. So actually I started using this in 2018, and so the future log is for July of 2018 to December of 2018. And this is my 2018 goals and reading goals. I actually copied this from my other bullet journal, the one that I started in 2018 or 2017 and then moved on to 2018. So I transferred this section. That's why it's so nice and neat. And this is the complete list of books that I read in 2018. I just literally wrote on one line the title and the author, and that's all I did for this. I have a little wish list here of things that I wanted to buy, and look at all of these that I have already crossed off. And then I had a page here with passwords. Some of this information I have covered up that's private. And you can see through here in the beginning of this bullet journal how like not great my brush lettering was. I also added these little washi tape tabs to every month. So the first month here is June 2018, and when I first started using this bullet journal, I was using it as a bullet journal for work and home. So I decided to divide my month into two parts. So this is all my stuff that is personal, and then this is all my business stuff, meetings and things like that. And then over here I have my goals and my TBR. Pretty much the same as what I do now, except that I had some highlighter keys here. And then I also did, what I did back then is I had a weekly spread for every week, and then a like dailies for my personal stuff, I think. Yeah, or I think it was the other way around. I think the weekly spread was for personal things, and then the dailies were for work. I did it this way because I was working from home. So I had, these are the dailies, and here's a weekly spread, that's the full week. I really liked putting these together, so I had a little reading tracker here, and I had a little quote here, and then I just divided the week like this. And on this day I actually did a little doodle because I was out and I ended up caught in the rain, so I stopped in Starbucks and read my book, which was so nice. I feel like it's so nice to have things like this to kind of have a bit of memory keeping for your bullet journal. It's a really great thing to get organized and do things like that, but it's super nice to look back on as well and have this, and like I can remember this day very clearly because I made this little doodle. Otherwise maybe I would have forgotten it completely. And there's some dailies. The next weekly spread, I don't know if I changed anything up here. I think it was pretty much the same. More dailies. More dailies. The little doodle here of a girl jumping. I think I did it with my Copic markers. And then sometimes I actually just take random notes as well. Here's a little doodle I did of myself at my desk with my hair up and my messy bun. And the next month is July. And then dailies. I was experimenting with different ways of dividing the days and like putting things in boxes, highlighting things. Oh, I think I was trying to do a weekly for like my dinner and my chores and stuff. Oh, trying out my new white gel pen. I was trying out different ways to write Thursday. More dailies. Sometimes I really didn't have much to do on the dailies, so I just literally had 3 or 4 days in one page. Here's another attempt I had at the weekly with dinner, chores, and a little space for to-dos. I personally just don't like having a very limited space to write things. There's a lot of private information on this page. I'm sorry if it looks messy, but you can see here my daily headers. And then I got really lazy and I didn't do the brush lettering here. And here is the monthly spread for August. As you can see, I basically keep it all pretty uniform. More dailies, a meeting here. More dailies. These are a little bit more full dailies. What I started doing here is I started having a work section and a home section all in one go because I was tired of the weekly spreads. I think I was just tired of setting them up, but I really like the way that they looked. And here I just had like a goals page. So this is something that I used to do in my old bullet journals before, is I used to have a lot of these kinds of like end of the month doodle pages, and I really love how this one looked. I did cover up some personal information, but you can see how like it's just a black and white just a doodle page with different doodles and writing and things that happened that month that make me remember that month. And I completely forgot that this was the month that I read a bunch of books and got a bunch of boxes from home, you know what I mean? So this is what I mean when I think about memory keeping in your bullet journal. And this was the first month that I actually got a different job. So I ended up with just having this bullet journal be my bullet journal for home stuff only, or personal things only. So that's why it's no longer divided and I no longer have the key at the bottom. It's just very simple. This was when I was trying to study to get my driver's license. I don't have I live in British Columbia and I don't have a British Columbia license. So I was trying to study and get my license, but I kind of gave up. I still don't have my license. I take public transport, so I don't actually need a driver's license, but I thought it would be good to have it. So yeah, I just set up this little study page for that. And around this time, I also started to make these budget pages. I created a budget and then wrote down my expenses every month. I did this for several months. Even though it was very useful at the time, it just stopped being useful for me, so I stopped doing it. This is October 2018, and I actually went to Fan Expo here in Vancouver, and I met Bailey J here on YouTube, and I got some of her stickers from her, and then I put it here in the spread. And then she had these Halloween stickers, so it was appropriate. These are my expenses from that month, and also more Bailey J stickers. And as you can see, my months are getting a lot shorter because I just have less stuff to write every month. So this was my first NaNoWriMo in a really long time. If you don't know what NaNoWriMo is, it's a National Novel Writing Month, and it's a challenge to write a 50,000 word first draft of a novel within 1 month. So that's what I did in 2018. Some more dailies, my expenses, and more dailies. And this was right before I was about to go home in 2018, so I had a to-do before holiday list. And this is my progress from NaNoWriMo 2018. So this was the goal and this is how I did, and this was my weekly progress. And yeah, I did okay. I was supposed to write 50,000 words, but I ended up writing 25,000. But I was very pleased with myself because I didn't even think that I could do that. So I was very happy with that. December 2018. My expenses and my packing list for my holiday. And I was also writing during this time. I kept writing my story even after NaNoWriMo ended, so this was my word tracker. Some dailies, a story idea. This was, I think, one of the last things I wrote in 2018, and this was me calculating my stats for my reading in 2018. And this is one of those spreads that I'm super duper proud of. This is my 2018 reading wrap up. I'm super excited to do a similar spread in 2019. So this is all the books that I read, and this is a graph of all of the genres, age groups, and formats that I read. And this is my star rating. So it's just a bunch of stats on a page, and it just makes me so happy to look at it. And then we start in with 2019. January 2019. 2019 goals and reading goals. I will come back and review this at the end of the year. This was my first what I read in 2019 spread. As you can see, I changed it up. So now I have the title, the genre, the age group, and the format in these columns. The only problem with this format is that I ended up only being able to fit 32 books on here. So I had to carry on a different spread and then also another spread after that, because I read a lot of books this year. And then my budget page again. As you can see, I kind of got lazy. I didn't draw out all the lines and everything, and I also feel like I didn't actually complete this page. Some dailies and a little doodle page. Believe in miracles. February 2019. A little list of ideas for my business. Some dailies. And then we're right into March. As you can see, the months are getting shorter and shorter and shorter. More dailies, but this time super duper simple. Just literally heading in capitals and then the list of the to-dos. This is a very special month because not only was it Camp NaNoWriMo, so it's like NaNoWriMo, but it's the camp version, so meaning that you can set up your own goals. And I set a goal for 25,000 words for a new story. But also this is a super special month for me because this was the month that I actually adopted my cat, Nellie. And this is my stats page for Camp NaNoWriMo. I actually like this page a lot better than the NaNoWriMo page I showed you earlier. I feel like it's just a lot more cohesive, and of course it's also nice because the goal line is actually exceeded. And I have a little winner sticker here. May 2018 is here. And here is a checklist for my coloring book. If you don't know, I have a coloring book that I have created. I have 2 coloring books and they are always linked in the description, so if you want to check them out, that's where you can find them. So my camera shut off, so I was just talking to myself for like, I don't know how long. Anyway, it's fine. I talk to myself all the time. Like I was saying. So this is the checklist that I have for my coloring book that I made. I have sketch, ink, and clean up the page, and then I have the other pages and I just check them off. And so like I was saying, I do have paperbacks of my coloring books available. They are linked in the description box. I also have an Etsy shop where I have the printable version of my coloring books and all the other coloring pages that I make available. So if you want to check that out, that is also linked in the description. Alright, so then here are some Adobe Premiere Pro notes that I took when I was randomly in the office and I had my bullet journal with me, and I just wrote down a bunch of notes for the video that I was watching. And then this is another coloring book that I had an idea for. Then June of 2019. And this is the editing checklist that I made for the story that I wrote in Camp NaNoWriMo. I finished it, and then I finished the first draft, and this was my list of editing it. You'll see a different list because I didn't finish this. I actually created another list later in the journal with that in mind. So Heart Breathings here on YouTube has a Facebook group, and I joined back in July, and they had on the Facebook group there was this HB Word Sprint Challenge, and this was my my challenge notes and things like that. So it was a 5-day challenge, and this is what I wrote here, and some thoughts, and it was super fun. I really enjoyed experimenting and trying different things, and you know, participating in the Facebook group. It was super fun, but I did realize that sprinting, word sprints are not really my thing. I prefer to have longer stretches of time where I write, so that's something that I learned. Here is July of 2019, and this was the month that I actually published my very first coloring book, Mermaid Summer. Some to-dos for the weekend. And then August 2019, this was when I kind of got very lazy with my bullet journal. I didn't even do the color headings. I didn't write that much in it. I would just set up the month, and then that would be pretty much it. I did keep up with this though. So this is part 2 of my books I've read in 2019. And what I did here is I just had the title, the genre, and then the format and the age group, and I just wrote it all in a list, and all with different colored inks. And I was hoping that it would fill up less of the page this way, but I still ran out of space, and so I had to continue onto a third spread. Alright, so then this is September of 2019, and this is when I published my second coloring book, Good Clean Fun. But again, it was very sparse. And then here is October of 2019, when I actually have the plan with me for this spread on my YouTube channel. It was one of the first videos that I posted, and I just had so much fun doing this spread. As you can see, I kind of like fell off the wagon with my bullet journal. In the beginning, you can see more of like how I used to have a lot of fun and be creative and make a bunch of different spreads, doodles, etc. And one of the reasons that I started this YouTube channel is just to motivate myself to use my bullet journal again and create spreads and have fun, and that's what I'm doing, and it's super great. I'm really enjoying it. So right here you can see that I started posting on YouTube, so I have this video right here, and I have all my videos listed. I have my birthday, Thanksgiving, and a little Instagram tracker right here. And I also have some stickers. These are actually more Bailey J stickers, little Pokemon stickers, and these are from my sticker haul that I also have on my channel, some dollar store stickers. And the big thing for October was Preptober, and so this is my Preptober notes. So things like characters, etc. So this is my character of Maddie. And I have also on my channel how I drew these little guys. And this is the other character, Travos, the world that I was building. This is some practice lettering that I did with my Crayola Super Tips. And this is just some sketches that I did just to have fun and experiment with my new Ohuhu brush markers. And I also got these really cute cat Post-its for my birthday, so I had to use them for this spread. It was just some plot notes. And then moving on to November of 2019, I have this plan with me on my channel as well. I love this spread. I think it looks so autumnal and just lovely. I actually made a mistake in this spread for the days of the week, so I ended up putting the days of the week in the wrong spot. So what I did was I actually blacked out the days I just made a black circle over them, and then I wrote over the black with a white gel pen the correct days, and I also used some whiteout to take away these lines and then draw them back in the right space. So I'm actually quite happy that I was able to save this spread and not have to redo it. And I actually always like looking at a spread and seeing like it's really like done, you know, there's lots of writing, lots of like stuff happening. It just makes me happy. I also have this tracker here that I did not follow very well. And so in November 2019, I attempted NaNoWriMo once again. I made a very clever choice of only writing on the weekends and writing a certain amount every day, and I failed miserably. I had the best intentions, but unfortunately life got in the way and I only wrote once. So it's too bad, because I hate when this happens, when you make a spread and you have every intention of filling it out throughout the month, but it never happens and you end up with a half-filled spread. It's always disappointing. It's not the best, but it's okay. It's alright. We all have them in our bullet journals, so it's fine. So in November, I also wanted to work on all of the projects that I still have on the go. So things like my story that I mentioned earlier, another novel that I had, my coloring book, another short story that I had going. So I made these lists for that. And then I have this page of dailies, a weekend, and this is my third and hopefully final books I read in 2019 page. The same format as before, except that it's just on one page, because I'm pretty sure I'm not going to read more than, you know, a couple more books in the rest of the year. And then finally we have December of 2019, and it is the 8th as I'm filming this. So I think this is pretty much it for this bullet journal. This is probably going to be the last few pages in this bullet journal. What a journey. So I have my little presents page. I filled it out, but I covered it up because I don't want people to know what they're getting before they get it. And then my pre-travel checklist is right here. And then I still have this spread to write down all the things that I want to keep from this bullet journal and transfer it to my next bullet journal. As you can see, I still have a bunch of pages still left in here, but I think this notebook is pretty much done, so I am moving on to my Moleskine journal in 2020. Let's just look at the back, because I do have a couple of pages at the back. I had the 2018 calendar here, and then I had a pen test page, and then I had the 2019 calendar. And that's it. So then that is it. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, congrats. You are a superstar. Well done to you. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to not miss any future videos. Leave me a comment down below. Let's chat about planning and bullet journaling and writing or whatever else you want to talk about. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!